You have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect. That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
Well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is. And the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. Young man, you're going to figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you do not say anything because you're going to figure that out real soon. I said you can go.
All right, guys, today we've got Judge Simpson going head-to-head with a classic stubborn sovereign citizen. And let me tell you, this one is a mess. This guy pulls out every trick in the sovereign citizen playbook. And spoiler alert, it does not go well for him. He's grasping at anything to dodge the situation, throwing out excuse after excuse. But Judge Simpson isn't buying a word of it. Things get really heated as you're watching. Let me know, do you think this guy actually believes what he's saying, or is he just putting on a performance? Let's dive in and see how this showdown between Judge Simpson and Mr. Sovereign Citizen all began.
I am Tariq Maratari Kade, the executor of the Tariq Maratari Kade Living Trust and the registered owner of the Tariq Maratari Kade Ex Relatione Kindaman Wilson Estate.
Right. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the third degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court would ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you in this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter, in that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
You do not. What is it about that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why or how religion doesn't play a role.
How what?
How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the government should.
Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect.
This is exactly why I love Judge Simpson. Just a no-nonsense judge who doesn't put up with any of these sovereign citizen shenanigans. And honestly, we need way more of that. I swear, like half the judges I feature on this channel are way too soft on these people. But Judge Simpson, he shuts it down fast. These sovereign citizens really think they can talk their way out of anything. But you can literally see this guy struggling to understand what he's even saying, just reciting some memorized script, grasping at straws, hoping the case magically disappears. It's wild how far these people will go just to avoid accountability. It's like they've never even heard of how the legal system works. Honestly, part of the blame falls on the education system. Schools don't teach us enough about civics or how the law actually functions. But still, come on. The US legal system runs on facts, not whatever fantasy they're spinning about sovereign immunity or being free from authority. I know a lot of these folks seem more ridiculous than dangerous, but here's a real question. Should we start taking this movement more seriously in today's world, or do we just let them keep doing their thing for our entertainment? Because right now it's feeling more like a circus than a courtroom. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Oh, I am an indigenous person.
No.
So I do have
Sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
Well,
If you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules.
Is there
You
a
are
law?
subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court as they are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again, I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if the prosecution as well as the court and the officers agree to take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
I'm not making.
Defendant is ordered for a forensic evaluation. I will set a competency hearing in this matter for July 25th, 2024. At what time? At 9 a.m. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you this
Yes, sir.
because it's going to depend on where you may be staying for a period of time. If they send you information as to when you have your forensic interview,
Yes, sir.
are you going to cooperate and attend that interview?
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
Pardon?
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
No. Not how it works.
If I can literally feel Judge Simpson about to explode right now. I've seen him go off before, and trust me, he's this close to slapping this guy with a contempt charge. You can see it in his eyes. He's trying to stay composed, but this sovereign citizen is really pushing his luck. Honestly, this dude must have had paint for lunch because I'm losing brain cells just listening to him talk. He's completely out of his depth, and you can tell the judge is just waiting for the perfect moment to drop the hammer. If this guy doesn't watch his mouth soon, Judge Simpson might just send him straight to jail. Let's dive back in and see. If he keeps testing the limits,
I'm asking you, are you voluntarily going to cooperate?
I say yes.
Pardon?
I mean, under it, yeah. I mean, is this what are, excuse me, what are you relaying to in regard? What are you insinuating in regards to where I will stay for a time?
I'm going to make sure that we are going to have our forensic interview done. I've ordered a forensic interview. I am asking you whether or not, when given notice of that interview, whether or not you are going to voluntarily cooperate in that interview.
I will take the interview.
Excuse me?
I will take the interview.
Anything from the people?
With the court, ask the people to prepare the order for the competency.
Yes, please prepare the order for that. Is that your address, sir?
Excuse me? That's correct.
All right. All right, very good.
And so I will send a copy to that address.
Very good. All right. This time then bond is continued.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry, can I get that date again, please, sir? If I can put it in my calendar.
July 25th, you were supposed to, so I'm assuming you're waiving it. You were supposed to file your motion with.
I
the
did,
court.
I filed it.
When did you file it?
I brought it in today.
Do we have it?
I gave it, I mean, it was stamped and everything. I gave it to the reception.
Why didn't you file it before today?
Well, as I stated at the last hearing,
No, don't go through what you
additional week.
stated at the last hearing.
Well, you
You
asked.
knew that, no, you knew it was supposed to be filed before the day. Young man, you're gonna
That's it.
figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you do not say anything because you're gonna figure that out real soon. Do they have it?
I have not received a response yet.
Since I'm sending in for a competency, I can't hear that. I can't hear his motion in any event. So I won't hear his motion at this time. He'll have to refile it timely if he's determined to be competent. So I'll have his bond continue. He can go. What?
I didn't get the last part that you said. The bond continued and what?
I said you can go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I actually posted the second half of this video a while back, so if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check that out to see how this train wreck of a hearing wraps up. But seriously, if Judge Simpson ever hit me with that death stare after asking half the nonsense this guy did, I'd be rethinking everything. My whole game plan would change real quick the next time I stepped into a courtroom. These sovereign citizens, though, man, the ego is out of control. I honestly think some of them know they're wrong but just refuse to admit it. And sure, there are a few who genuinely believe this nonsense, but guys like the one we just watched, it feels like it's all pride. They know they're losing, but they'd rather go down swinging than admit they're wrong. It's wild how far some of these folks will go just to avoid taking responsibility. And speaking of responsibility, let's give some serious credit to Judge Simpson. He's doing exactly what the law should do, holding people accountable and keeping the courtroom in order. Honestly, I wish more judges would follow his lead. Too many are way too lenient, especially when it comes to sovereign citizens. We need more judges like Simpson, ones who aren't afraid to drop the hammer and shut down the nonsense. Can you imagine if we just rounded up all these sovereign citizens and sent them to an island, or even just a courtroom-free zone, where they couldn't clog up the legal system anymore? The world would be a much calmer place. But really, it all starts with the judges. We need them to step up and stop entertaining the madness. Let me know what you guys thought of this hearing. This one was pretty entertaining, even though the guy's argument was the usual sovereign citizen religion kind of stuff. Nothing too new, just more of the same ridiculous claims we've all seen before. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I post content like this every single day. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of you. Take care.